Hi Stampers and Crafters. Today we're going to create this Halloween Hershey candy bar holder. Slides right out like that. Now these products are not available until September 4th. But if you want to join my team now, you can order these in your starter kit. And right now through August 31st, you can get $155 worth of product for $99 and free shipping. So a great way to get started on some of these Halloween projects. Here are some tools that you will need. You'll need the Wicked dies from the holiday catalog, a die cutting machine, gorgeous Grape and Granny Apple Green ink pads, Wink of Stella. You'll want your die brush and your take your pick tool, sponge daubers, and your 1/2-inch circle punch. You will also need a scoring tool. So our first item is a 6x6 piece of the Designer Series paper. We've got the spider webs. And you're going to score this at 1.5, 1 3/4, 4 inches, and 4 1/4. Then what we'll do is burnish these edges, fold them first, and then we'll get a bone folder to make sure that they're nice and crisp. So after we folded them, let's make sure that they're nice and crisp and fold with the bone folder. Okay, so now that you've got your folds, this is going to be the front part of your candy bar holder. So we're going to take this 1/2-inch punch and make that in the center, and I go all the way in just because you don't want to have that rip there, so you want some meat there. So I just kind of eyeball it, punch. Okay, then I always like to fit my candy bar in here to make sure that when I glue this down that I actually have it glued properly, and so I don't have it over, or you know, because sometimes with these little small sides it's hard to make a box correctly. So we're going to put some tear and tape on the edge, and you just want to put it on this one edge that folds over, and it's actually the bigger side. If you can see, there's, well, it's about even. So pick one, let it fold over. Okay, and then I always like to use my take your pick tool and peel that backing off, and of course it's always easier when it's not on video. And then let's fold this over. You don't want it too tight because it needs to slide in and out. We want to make sure that it's secured together, matching up. Okay, now to get that candy bar in, here's where some of that magic is. We're actually going to thread this through, okay, your ribbon through. Your ribbon is about 26 to 28 inches long, and this is also some of the new ribbon that's in the holiday catalog. Okay, so we're gonna make it about evenish, and then the Hershey bar slides right into on top of that, so you can see that it goes through. If you see it come out the other side, you see the ribbons right there. That's what holds it there. Okay, and then you're going to tie a bow. And again, that's another thing that's really awesome to do on a video. And then you'll want to snip your ends. Okay, so there's the basic of the candy bar holder. So let's put the Wicked and the spiders on there. So to create the Wicked, that was with the varied from the green to the purple. So we used Granny Apple Green and Gorgeous Grape. And what I did, so I took a piece of Whisper White, and minimum is 1 3/4 by 5 inches. It can be a little bit bigger. That's the minimum that you need. I take a sponge dauber. You want to take the ink from the corners, because usually we stamp in the middle of the pad. So this is where you're going to have ink. And what I did is I just rubbed and rubbed and rubbed. And it's going to be all sorts of crazy colors and variation. That's okay. We want to have a good part of this covered. And we want it to be a little bit varied. Then we're going to take the Gorgeous Grape and another sponge dauber. And we're going to do that again to the bottom. And we want to kind of blend the two of these together in the middle. Now, what I found was put too much Gorgeous Grape, make it too high up, and it's hard to have enough for the green to show on the Wicked, just because of the shape of the die. Then we want to kind of blend. And here you can start doing some circular motions, kind of get it to blend together. Okay. And you can work with that as much as you want to get that looking like you want it to. So now we're going to take the Wicked, and I like it where the bottom part, so about halfway through, okay? So you're going to see that's about right here, through the middle of the D, middle of that W, okay? So we're going to cut that out with a die cutting machine. So we've cut that out, and if you look here, you have this as a negative image. You could use that for another project. And here's our Wicked. That's why you need your die brush. You can either poke them out, which this one's pretty easy to get it loose, and it's not too fragile to get out. Some other dies, you really want to use that die brush part. I just kind of poke. It just peels right out. So there's our Wicked. Okay, so in addition, we have a black, because we're going to make a shadow. And then I also have 3 little spiders that we're going to put on here. All right, so here's our candy bar, and you're going to need some adhesive. And the easiest adhesive for me to use is this fine tip glue. Other people prefer the Tombow glue, or if you've got some sort of adhesive backing to put onto your cardstock, you can use that. Make it like a sticker. So whatever's the easiest method for you to use. But again, I like this fine tip glue. It works pretty well. Okay, so we're gonna lay that right here. Press down a little bit, make sure that glue's adhering. Right. Now we're going to use the Wicked with the ones that we had sponged. You know, this sponging, let's come up with some different color combinations. I chose the green and purple because Wicked reminded me of the musical Wicked. It reminded me of Wicked Witch of the West. So that's why I kind of chose those. Plus, I kind of like the green and purple for Halloween instead of the traditional black and orange. You could try something with a different dye. Now we're going to offset this so that you have a shadow. This is why I like this glue, because it dries clear and then you can move some of these pieces around a little bit so that you get that shadow. It also doesn't ooze out. Sometimes I get too crazy with the Tombow. It starts oozing everywhere. Okay, now we're going to use another new product from the holiday catalog, and that is these black dimensionals. So it comes in a pack with minis and with the regular size, but we're going to use minis on our spiders today. Just use a little mini. So the paper is white, but underneath it's a black one, which is really great because I'll show you here in just a second where the pieces, when you look at it sideways, you don't see the white underneath that. All you see is the black spider, and it looks great. One more. Stick that right about here. All right, we are almost done. We've got some Wink of Stella because we need to have a little bit of glitter, right? So I just colored right on top of these spiders when they were put onto the candy bar. Gives them a little bling, kind of makes them show up a little bit more, especially with that backdrop of the spider webs. And we'll trim these up. And there you have it. There's our project, so you can see the difference between the two that I did. So you got a little bit more green faded into the gorgeous grape, and this one has a little bit more gorgeous grape. So it's going to vary based on what you do with your sponging. I hope you have enjoyed this project, and we'll see you back again next week for another technique.